watch Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Hello, and welcome
hey.
to another episode of Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics. I am Dennis. This is my co-host, Teresa.
Hi, how are you? I'm going through a change. I'm as disappointed as you are to not see her here, to be honest with you.
Yes, unfortunately, Teresa is not feeling well. We found out last minute. But we have Paul Bond on, so we can't go wrong.
So I'm going to be here the whole show, whether you like it or not. I was supposed to be just a guest, but now I'm co-host / guest.
Well, we keep our guests on the whole time anyway.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right.
We focus on them. If you're new to the show, basically our format is we assimilate to the guests that we have on. Tonight we have a very funny comedian.
I hope he shows up. That'll be great.
Yes, hopefully he shows up any second now. But he's internationally known, I would say. He performs all over the place, from here to... Have you been to California? I know you've been to Vegas. So from coast to
I did
coast.
the Fillmore in California with Brewer, and we performed with Metallica up in the balcony.
That's where that was. Okay, that was California.
They were watching us.
So from coast to coast, he's a very funny comedian. So let's wrap up last week. We want to thank Fat Jay for coming in. We had a good time with him. And next week, I'm trying to get David Weiss on. I'm just waiting for an answer. I don't know if you...
10-10?
David, yes.
10-10?
Very funny comedian. Love the guy.
10-10 wins. You ever hear Rich Walker's joke about 10-10 wins? He goes, 10-10 doesn't win, it ties.
Good
Anyway,
point.
10-10 prize.
And funny enough, you mentioned Rich Walker. That's where we met, at the brokerage class.
Oh,
that we did
okay.
there. So,
I did not know that.
And
I'm touching my mic. I'm awful.
he's
I
new
thought it
with
was
this.
my glasses hanging.
This is first time.
Yeah, first time with a mic.
But let's go to our sponsor first, and then we'll get into our show.
Sure.
So we want to give it up to Frank Zambuto, who's watching live right now at the Irish Pub playing darts. He works for Kayla Logistics. Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. Moving products you use every day across the country and around the world. Contact Frank Zambuto for all of your domestic and international logistic projects. Frank has over 20 years' experience working with many name brand companies in the apparel, cosmetics, casino, TV, and electronic industries. For trucking, air, and ocean cargo on all 7 continents, all you need is one solution. To all Cool Cat listeners, just mention our show, and Frank will offer a free cost and transit time analysis for all your cargo. When cost and time matter, we deliver. Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. And you can reach Frank at his direct line at 347-536-3933, or email him at frank@kaylalogistics.com. And I know you know Frank.
I know Frank.
You finally got to meet him at the
Finally,
event.
at a benefit, yeah.
And, we'll get into everything you do, but since we're talking about Frank and benefits, I know you do a lot for charity, and you are having a show this week, Friday?
I'm doing 2 charities this weekend.
It's 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm doing Friday night. It's going to be at Round 2. It used to be called Knockouts. It's in Bohemia on Vets Highway. It's a hang, it's a bar, and we're raising money for my rescue group, the Adoption Center, and we have a bunch of comics on the show. I will be closing out the show. There will be raffles, 50-50, bada bing, bada boom, and that's on Friday night. And then Sunday, I got something very special I'm doing for the vets. Not veterinarians on Friday, but for the vets. It's called A Walk with Frank, and it's taking place at the Bolton Center. And this is a war vet who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's about homeless vets. And what he's going to do, Frank, is going to walk from Buffalo, New York, back to Long Island.
Wow.
And he's going to do a documentary interviewing homeless vets on the street and to make America aware of this major problem that we have. And we're raising money this Sunday at the Bolton Center for that documentary. So it's a very important thing. Sunday the 17th at 4 p.m. through 6:30 p.m. I will be your MC, host, and comedian. I'll be the thread in the show. It's going to be a variety type of show, though. It's going to have different types of acts in it. Jazz, there's going to be some dancing, there's going to be, comedy.
Of course.
Hopefully. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's the Bolton Center on Sunday from 4 to 6:30 p.m. So it's an early night.
Okay. And just want to give a shout out. Frank's checking in. We're being watched live right now at the Irish Pub in Baldwin while they're shooting darts, so that's cool.
Yeah, I saw that he posted that.
Melissa, what's going on? Larry, V.
What's happening?
V, if you could put up Paul's link for the cats, Frank's already got you $100 from the bar.
He what?
Yeah.
Really? Well, I have
Not
a
kidding.
PayPal. He could go through PayPal. I don't have an actual
There's no
fundraiser
link
up right now. But PayPal is P as in Paul, A as in Apple, C as in car, H as in hammer, and BO, like bond, BO, at AOL.com. If you want to donate to my rescue, patchbow at AOL.com. That's right, AOL. I'm hanging on to AOL. All my business cards say AOL, so that's what it stays.
Do you still have MySpace too?
No, I don't have MySpace. I have, yeah, you're going to be, in 5 years from now, Facebook is going to be obsolete.
It is. You're not kidding.
And I'll be the only guy on Facebook.
That's part of one of my jokes because I talk about, the age thing,
Yeah.
as we were doing the workshop. And it's funny because there are kids now saying Facebook's for old people because their parents are on it. So this new generation is moving
To
to
what?
things like TikTok and whatever
TikTok?
else. Yeah.
TikTok?
So Facebook is now becoming passe.
I don't think so. But anyway.
Well, I don't think anyone thought MySpace was going to go anywhere either at the time. So.
Right.
In the AOL chat rooms, there was nothing better. Now
Oh,
they don't
no,
even exist
absolutely.
anymore. So
Well, it was all new. It was all exciting. And then came Zuckerberg,
yeah.
who still can't figure out that when you do a Facebook Live, you got to flip the picture. So what a dumbass. Every time I do a Facebook Live and it's facing me and I'm saying, hey, what's going on? Everything behind me is in reverse. I'm like, don't you realize we want to see what
Yeah.
the people we're talking to?
And it does throw you off because
It does.
you just don't know what's going on. From
And
the
I do
video
have a good
aspect
side.
of it.
No, I'm just kidding. I have no good side.
Jeff's checking in. He said, "Great to see you. Glad you're out there doing your thing for your friends without a voice."
Yes. Hey,
Our friends
Jeff.
without a voice.
Absolutely.
And it's true. See, I know it's tough right now, and the last couple of charity things we tried on Facebook were tough because there's so many out there right now.
Yeah,
I
there
know
is.
you could donate your birthday and everything. And here's my take, and it's my own personal take. I don't speak for anybody. I don't want to say I have a problem with all the big charities, but I stopped donating to a lot of them because you start hearing bad things about things that they're
Yeah,
doing.
I've heard. And
Stealing
it's
money,
very-
it doesn't go where it's supposed to, and everything else. So
too much red tape.
Yeah. Two charities I always tried to give to was Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I just went live on
Again,
your
sorry,
Facebook.
it's his first time.
Yeah, it is.
And I used to give to the Wounded Warrior Foundation,
Yeah, I heard something about
but
that
I've heard
too.
bad things about that, and you don't know what's true or not anymore. But what I did was I changed recently, and I'd rather give direct to somebody. I know what Paul does with the money.
Yes.
I'd rather take money out of my pocket and hand it right to him, or donate through a PayPal or.
And it goes. There's no red tape. It goes right to the cause.
Right.
Like for instance, we acquired $480 worth of vet bills last week, like that, and that's how I just posted on the Facebook Live, so they
Okay.
can go to
Yeah,
PayPal.
V did that too. So
Oh, what a nice
he's on
person!
top of things.
All right. So what's new and exciting with Dennis?
Not much. I also want to give a shout out because I always
Oh.
forget. The show right before us
Yes.
is In the Cage with Cyclone. If you like any fighting sports, whether it's boxing, wrestling,
MMA.
hockey, MMA, all that stuff, he covers all that, talks about it every week. It's a great
Oh,
show.
cool. Sorry.
And-
First day with my phone. That's such a
So definitely check his show out.
Hold on.
Like and share all the shows
There we
here. Check out all the shows on Strong Island Television because there's a lot of good shows on here. As you know, you've been on
Yes.
here before.
I've been on Laughter Saves Lives a few times.
Right.
So
And like and share our show, obviously, in our Facebook page and
Ta-da!
all that. So what's been going on with me a lot is work.
Just
As you
work.
see, right?
Yeah.
He
just
witnessed.
before we came on, he got a call
Yeah.
to go to work right after this.
So right from here, I got to shoot home, change, and go to work. The struggle is real
Wow.
because there's so much money in comedy that I have to.
I know.
You know, I don't have
It's
to tell
such
you.
a struggle.
Especially at my level of
Yeah,
infancy.
and guess what? It
There's-
doesn't
there's
get
no
any
money.
easier at
Yeah.
my level. It just you got to reinvent yourself. It's about asses and seats, and
Yeah.
and I've been working on a new press kit and new promo, so that when you go to my YouTube page, Paul Bond Comedy, I have brand new clips
Okay.
from a DVD that I can't sell for for legal reasons. It was such an off. It's done, but but I put up clips from the DVD. You'll see it. Stuff you haven't seen from my show and stuff I just winged that night. So,
Wow.
yeah. So it's up there on Paul Bond Comedy on YouTube.
And thank you, Frank. He just sent $100. And thank you to the Irish Pub.
Thank you, Frank.
You guys are awesome.
Frank's always there for
yeah,
me.
Frank's
You're
very-
always there for me. Veronique,
Veronique, if you want to.
Veronique. Yes, always there for me. And Teresa, of course. And she's
Who's not here for you today. 'cause
She's
you're
not here.
sick,
I was just going to
unfortunately.
say, who's not here for me today? So,
But
anyway.
I just did a show last week for the first time at the Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
Oh, how'd
thanks
that
to
go?
John Butera. That was great. It was a lot of fun. It was cool to be in the area. I don't know if any of you guys watch Crashing. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
It's a show about an up and coming comic who's just doing the circuit at the
Pete
time.
Holmes, right?
Yes, and he's at the Grizzly Pear a lot, at the Comedy Cellar, off the wagon. I was right in the heart of all that, so it was kind of cool to be
All right.
walk past these places to go to the Greenwich Village. Comedy
Yeah,
Club
no,
and,
it is. It is. It's cool. It's an interesting show. It's kind of real.
I noticed that, and again, I have nowhere near the level of experience in the business as you, obviously, but I see some of the stuff is very true to life, and some of it's just there's no way somebody gets that lucky right off the bat.
Yeah, well, they got to make it interesting. That's
Yes.
why. It's just show nonetheless.
Right.
It's not a documentary,
Right.
so they got to make it interesting.
But it does show the struggle, how usually it doesn't happen within a season where you're barking on the street. Next thing you know, you're doing this college tour and
Yeah.
going on tour with Artie Lang. But
Yeah. That's not happening.
that's not so real to life. But it is real the struggle. They have to go out there. You want a set. Doesn't matter if you're funny or not. How many people are you gonna put in the seats? That's all they really care about. At least in the beginning.
I don't know. John DeCrosta. Hey, look at that. My buddy from LA is watching. Kind of real, not at all. Ugh.
I see his point because again, it's just things happen way too easily
Yeah.
for this guy.
Yeah.
Which I don't, maybe it does happen.
It was
to
like
somebody.
that movie with Tom Hanks and I was gonna say Sally Field. All of a sudden she's an overnight success because she went to 5 different clubs and people are like, "This is terrific."
Right.
It's not that easy.
No.
It's not. You see what we do up there. People think they can do so that the hecklers think they're funnier than the comic. It never works out well for you. So just shut the fuck up. How about that? All right. That's number one. I said fuck. Is that bad?
That's fine.
That's 2. Anyway, but the people in the audience seem to think that this is easy. What we do is easy. Ever since the age of YouTube, I can be funny. Yeah, do it at your house. Do it at a party. In the meantime, I came here with a show. Let me do my show. That's all.
And that's the problem now is because anybody could be a star. Because all you need is a phone, Facebook Live, or YouTube, like you said, and boom, you're out there. And if
We don't get lockers. That's hysterical. We don't get lockers as comics. We don't. It's not like you're checking into the fitness center.
Right.
Hey, here's my locker. I can't remember my combo. That's what they have on Crashing. They got lockers. That's not
I don't
real.
know what happened there. I just got
Speaking of crashing.
Yeah, I just crashed.
So anyway, a big hi to John DeCrosta. He's talk about funny comics. He is one of the best in the business. He's what you call, if I had 2 words to describe John, and this is the biggest compliment. First of all, I can watch him every time he goes on, and I laugh just as hard. Infectiously funny. That's it. Once you start laughing, you're never going to stop. That's my buddy John.
Because I trust your opinion on it.
And up, he knows what that means. But a great special on Netflix, if I could say. I just watched a new stand-up. Ray Romano.
I heard that was really
Ray
good. I haven't checked
Romano's
it out yet.
special
But
is funny, and it's raw. He curses like you never
Really?
want to see Ray curse.
would never expect that from Ray.
And it's minimal, but he's definitely more real than he's ever been in the
Okay.
special. A lot of shit about his wife that
Wow.
you never heard. A lot of stuff about his kids, and it was shot at the Comedy Cellar in 2 different sections. And what was cool about it is they didn't know he was coming to film. The audience had no idea. He basically canceled whatever show for a half hour to go in and tape his stand-up comedy special, and then did it again.
Okay.
So the audience was surprised. He goes, this is either going to work or it's not, And he was great.
So I noticed a lot of big names are coming back to the stand-up circuit.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah.
It means that it is in demand again. People going. And I noticed that even from doing my shows. People want to laugh again.
Yeah,
It's very tough. And Jerry Seinfeld said it because he's been going around again. He said he won't do the colleges because they're just way too PC now.
Yeah.
And he's not even like a controversial comic.
Right.
So for him to say that, most people wouldn't be able to handle that circuit then. So it is good. Hopefully that's a sign that maybe things will change and comedy can get back to being comedy.
I hope so. What I do hope most of all is somebody comes up with a stand-up comedy show for veteran comics like myself who are still out there doing it, and we get recognized, and it's not just the kids in Manhattan who are all the angst about their apartments and whatnot. We're road warriors. We've done everything from Vegas to Atlantic City to ships to resorts, and that shit's funny, man. Somebody wake up, catch on to the idea that us older guys are still fucking funny, and we still got something to say.
And I will say that firsthand because he is the reason why I had an interest in starting comedy in the first place because I just thought you were hysterical.
Thank you.
I enjoyed your comedy, and then there was that point in me that said, not that I can do this, but I want to do this. I want to try it.
Or at least try it, right? Absolutely.
And, it's funny because we were discussing the other day again, too, the first time at your workshop, which
Right.
I want you to promote as well.
Right.
I went in there completely green and had no idea why I was there 5 minutes in. But the 20 minutes you gave me one-on-one in the kitchen got me to where I am today.
Cool.
Which is that I had to rush right after the show to go to work. But it's still,
Yeah, but what I provide at the workshop is just guidance. I don't try to change anybody when they come to the workshop. I want you to become more of who you are and who you think you want to be, because there's no sense. And there are comedy workshops where they go, "Oh no, you should be this," and it's like, no, I came here with a certain thing that I want to do. Don't change that. Hone that. Right. Make it better than what it is right now. That's why I'm here. And that's what I try to do. I try to give everybody the tools to get themselves to the next level. Or at least get over some major hurdles that I had to suffer through in the beginning because there were no real classes or workshops around.
No, you had to do it the hard way. You just had to go out to open mics and figure it out. But Frank, if you want to know what he gave me for 20 minutes, you got to pay the money and go to the workshop. Then you can have it too.
Sean McFoster says, it's not that kind of workshop. Are you still making toys at the workshop?
Now, I do got to say, because I've been to quite a few, and I've seen many different comics in there over the last few years, and I will say this, you do bring out that person in them. It's not like you're pushing you on them or directing them like you said.
Right.
You're saying, this is your voice, try it this way, do this.
That's
just
all.
Honing their skills.
Check it out. Because when comics first start writing, and it's an actual thing that we all do. We've all guilty. We put more words than necessary to make the joke happen because we're trying to fill up time. It's like, well, maybe they're not going to get it unless I say this phrase and that and that. It's like, no. Give the audience a little bit of credit. And I do mean a little because you don't want them to totally lose the joke, but at the same time, give them something to,
It's true, and I could tell you, and even though you gave me the advice and I thought I was listening to it, I remember my first contest, I had 5 minutes. Each comic had 5 minutes to do the material, and I think I probably had 6 minutes or 7 minutes I tried to cram into that 5 minutes because I was just like, well, if this joke don't work, I want to do that joke. And if that joke don't work, I want to jump right into this one. And I thought I was doing well on stage until I watched it afterwards. I'm like, man, I rushed right through. I spoke over the laughs.
And you looked down. That was your biggest problem when you first came. Your first gig?
My first gig, but the first contest, I don't know if I looked down so much.
No, you didn't look down.
But
we broke you of that.
Yeah, I just there wasn't enough confidence in my set or whatever. Now the second contest,
you were more interested in getting the words out,
right,
and getting it done.
Right.
It's like I'm getting close to the end. Let's go.
And it seems, I'm sure. I don't know if you still feel the same way, but when I first got up there, like when you end a joke, even like a half a second seems like a minute.
It seems
So it's
like,
like,
yeah.
oh, nothing's going on. I got to say something real quick. You
Right,
don't.
right.
Sometimes, like you say, you got to let it breathe.
Let it marinate.
Let it marinate.
Yeah, let the moment happen. Because there are some comics I'm working with are finally getting to the point where the confidence in the material, so they actually go into a moment. In other words, become the scene
Right.
of the joke. Like, hey, my wife always does this, and then becomes the scene with his wife. And you can't be worried about the silence because I'm not going to tell you the payoff is good unless it's good.
Right.
So just trust that it's going to pay off and it's going to work. And the silence is the hardest part in stand-up because we're always afraid. That's our most vulnerable thing because
Right.
like, oh, it's silent. Oh, no, they're not laughing. Oh, no, I'm not speaking. Yeah, but that's the point where they go, oh, okay, boom,
Right.
and land. The joke lands harder.
And if they're quiet, they're listening, which means you're set up to the punchline.
Right.
If it's a good joke, will be a home run.
It will land.
They're laughing through the whole thing. They're missing what you're saying.
Right.
So
Here's
that's a bad thing.
Here's
either,
a little
but-
tip, Rudy, for you new guys. When somebody gives you an 8-minute set, go up with 6 minutes of material. Because then you're not rushing through everything that you have, and you can take your time. And when you do your material at home, you're not including maybe some improv that happened or audience reaction. So hopefully that other 2 minutes, because you're relaxing, will be filled with laughter, improv, and
Actually, I'm sorry. I said the third contest was the one at the Broadway where you were.
Yeah, man, you
the
kicked
judge.
ass.
And what a difference from one contest to the next to the next. And I bring that up because I actually am going to be in another contest on March 23rd at
Where?
the Loft.
oh, the loft.
Again, Butera, Aragonis
Okay.
Comedy. So hopefully I will have experienced that much more by then and be able to.
Am I headlining
really,
that?
I don't know.
I think I'm in that one. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure because I didn't see what the lineup was. I just know
Right.
I put the interest out there.
me
And
see.
to warm up, March 1st, I will be at Governor's Little Room with Terry McNeely in his show.
Thank you, Will. He said Paul's good at reading the person in their own voice. And Frank, just like sex the first time.
You rush it.
Oh! No.
And Jeff has no clue who or what he is. So maybe you can help Jeff out too.
Well, Jeff, come to the class, man. It's a lot of fun. The biggest thing, and you can vouch for this, the biggest thing about the workshop, nobody feels judged. Nobody. The atmosphere is loose. Everybody brings what they want to throw against the wall. Everyone throws out ideas. There's like 6 comics in the room plus myself. I'm like the conduit. And everybody's giving suggestions. It's the coolest 3 hours, because it's 3 hours. You hang out the entire time, that you could have on a Thursday night. And well worth it. It's $40. It's not that much money. And you know what? You walk out with stuff that you didn't have before you walked in. So I only take 7 comics a class.
I'm just laughing at John's comment.
What do you say? Do I wear Lois for sure for the show? He's such a dick, and that's why he's funny. He is.
He's got me already, so I'm already a fan.
He already. John and I have such history. It's ridiculous. And there's a CD that I have of us doing outtakes from a sketch that I had on my first CD about him coming in to pick out ladies' lingerie. And I think it was for Valentine's Day, am I right? Yeah. And because he wants to get a little anal. That's the punchline. Then you hear the record scratch and this whole store goes silent. And he goes, all right, I think this says anal on it. You know, this little outfit here. And you see hangers vigorously going across. But it was a start. We had so many outtakes, though. Someday I'll have to put it up on my website.
That's not a bad idea, Frank.
What's that?
He wants to use the experience for sales.
Oh,
because Frank is
that's
a
true.
very witty guy. He's
Right.
quick. I think he would do well as a comic, but he doesn't really want to do that, or maybe he
Right.
just needs a little product to
Yeah,
realize
but
he's
you know
got more
what?
talent.
It's
But
true.
for sales, it will help.
It's
big
great
time.
for public speaking. The classes. In fact, you and Teresa came
Right.
before you did your first
So
show.
she was real nervous. She's never really done anything like this before.
and
I'm glad I did it too, because I was just going to wing it. like I
Right.
usually
Well,
do,
the cool
but-
thing was I put them up in the front of everybody, and they sat like they would at a podcast, and I just kind of gave them some fluid to get it going, and they just started talking like they were doing a podcast.
Right.
And it was great because you wound up having subjects to talk about for your first show, and it didn't seem contrived. It didn't seem like you were forcing anything. So
Right.
it was good. It
And
was
we
good.
started out with a bunch of huge guests right off the bat, which made it easy too.
Yeah.
Mira, Mike Keegan,
Right.
Richie Byrne, you know.
Right.
Our first few shows were really like all home runs for us.
Bunch of big mouths that you that were
That, could carry their own. So it's
Yeah.
not like that we had to worry about, is this guest going to be a stiff,
Right.
Because you know that, well, with an interview, the interview could be as great as possible. If the guest is just dull,
Yeah.
it's really hard to bring that home. If you're just getting yes or no answers and
That's why the king of interviews will always be Johnny Carson.
Yes.
He will always. I mean, the potato chip lady. I don't know if you've ever seen that classic potato chip
Where they
lady.
were
but
shaped like different-
shaped like different
Yeah.
things. And then he pulled up a potato chip while she was getting another one. Pulled up a potato chip from a bowl that she didn't see and crunched it. And she turned around, almost had a heart attack. And it was the funniest thing because he's friggin' brilliant. He knows how to make anybody funny, and he knows how to get it out of you. And if you watch Carson, these old interviews, he's so intense. He's so like, yeah. And he's really listening.
Right.
He's not trying to one-up you. He's not trying to be funnier than you. He's just brilliant at interviews.
I think that's lost because the late shows now just they're
Yeah.
not what they were.
No,
People are
they're
going
not.
out there. They're trying to be
And I-
comics doing their stick,
Right.
or they get overly political, or they just
Right, which
want
is-
to outshine their guests. Like you
Right.
said, Johnny was a star because he wasn't a star. You know what I
Because he
mean?
wasn't
'Cause
insecure.
wasn't
He
trying-
knew
yeah.
he was going to be funny in the time he
Right.
was supposed to be funny.
Right.
He didn't have to be funny in
He
your
had his
time.
monologue, he had his skits
Yeah.
and stuff, but when he did the interview, it was
Right.
about that person.
It was about that person. Exactly.
And he
if-
knew his stuff, too.
He
I
made
mean-
Robin Williams, he lit the fuse for Robin, and he just ran around the place like a maniac, and he loved every
Yeah.
second of it. He didn't care if you turned his show into the Robin Williams half hour at that point. Didn't care.
And if things went awry, like with Burt Reynolds,
And, the guy from
the whole
Double
whipped cream
Dare.
thing,
Double Dare. They actually were spraying
whipped cream.
and everything.
And then Johnny just got into it and turned what really could have been, which was a tense situation, turned
Yes.
into a classic funny moment. So
Turned it into a Laurel and Hardy moment.
really did.
With the whipped cream, and
Right.
then put it down his pants, and then hysterical. But he was a genius at that.
Yeah.
And not much of that goes on, and it's just they're so interested in what they the host is so interested in what they have to say that they forget that it's about the person you brought on.
Yeah.
So. Lacey and Frilly. That was the name of the bit on my CD. John just said, Lacey. It was Lacey. I'm looking for something Lacey and Frilly. Like he's such a character. He's a voiceover guy, John. He was in Transformers 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Okay.
played all the kitchen utensils, and he played the doctor who actually pulled and pushed Shia LaBeouf's nose and pulled out something. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was, but he was actually in the guy's living room doing who did those movies. I don't know.
Really? Wow.
I don't remember his name. I'm having
Yeah.
a brain fart. But it was a really cool thing, and I saw John's name come up at the end of the movie, and I'm like, oh man. Little tear came to my eye, gotta be honest.
That's great.
When your buddy makes it, it's just so cool.
I really want to step it up, but it's tough, as you see with my job, too. It's just,
Oh no, it's hard.
And the one thing that they do show, and I know from, I go to Pauline Murphy a lot because she posts a lot of what she does. She's out there every day hitting 3 or 4 shows, open mics, this, that,
Yeah.
that. It's really, really hard
Yeah, it
to
is.
get off the ground. And even, I don't understand it. There are really, really funny people out there that have what it takes to just go all the way. And for whatever reason,
It's the
it
right
doesn't
time.
happen.
It's the right
And-
person.
And I try to figure that out because,
Yeah.
again, you take someone like Ray Romano, and I know Rich Walker, and a lot of people were
Right.
in that scene at that time.
Sure.
He got picked.
Right. Yeah.
Kevin James,
Yeah.
he helped along. And again,
Ray got picked because of Letterman. He killed on Letterman.
Yeah.
And Letterman
And
gave
what-
him his own show.
And that's why I brought that up. They would think if you got on Carson, if you got on Letterman, if you got on these shows, you were done. You were set.
In the
And
day.
you done in a good way. Like your work was over. Now it was a free ride
you
almost.
get this from Carson, or you get the call
Yeah,
over
you
to
get
the
the
chair.
call over. What is
You're
there
made.
now?
You're made.
Is there anything now? Because
Tim
Saturday Night
Allen,
Live is-
Roseanne Barr, Drew Carey, Eddie Murphy, all these guys got the call over to the chair and got their own TV show because once Carson gives you the okay, that was it. That's all you needed. It was
There's no more
it was like
late
the
night shows
Godfather,
like that.
You know? No.
Saturday Night Live's not that catapult anymore. There's no guy like Rodney Dangerfield doing his thing anymore. Because again, if you were on the Young Comedian Special on Rodney Dangerfield,
Yeah.
he went and picked funny people
Yeah.
and propelled their career. It wasn't like, hey, how many people can you bring?
Right.
He knew what funny was, or what funny was to him at least, and he pushed them. What is there now? Is there anything like that?
There's nothing really because it's so saturated. The comedy is all over the place, and what happens is it gets kind of, I hate saying this, but when you got so many comedy shows, the cream can't rise because it's so watered down.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's so watered down, and unless you're at a level already, like a Dave Attell and a Jeffrey Ross who bumping mics on Netflix is a
That
killer.
was great. I
Killer.
watched that on your recommendation. And again, it was
Once you're at that level already, it's really hard now because you get your own Netflix special. No, you don't just get your own Netflix special. You need somebody to help you. Like my friend Paul Verzi just had his first Comedy Central special because of Bill Burr, who we opened for. Not saying Paul didn't break his ass to get to that point, but he had the right guy. He had the tool, the mechanism to make it happen, and that's what.
I know
this
sometimes
business
it's
is
a
about.
viral YouTube video, like Vic DiPotetto had the bread and milk thing, and then some guys just come. I don't want to say come out of nowhere because again, he was working his ass off and doing
Sure.
the scene. But Sebastian Maniscalco,
Yeah.
now is like top level. You saw what his tickets were going for at the Garden, and he sold out to it shows.
I know.
And I'm like, wow, it's for a comedy show. Like, good for him for getting it.
I know.
No, definitely not a knock on him. And please, I hope he gets 10 times that, so at least maybe I'll make some money in the future.
Is there any trickle down to
That's what I'm hoping,
Maniscalco's pay?
So maybe I can make a couple $100 a night if he's
know.
making, But it's just
4 shows at the Garden.
sold out.
4.
I mean, it was a big deal when Dice sold out the Garden. It was huge because comedian never
I did it for 10 nights.
And then
Yeah.
Dane Cook came and he
Yeah.
sold back-to-back shows.
Yeah.
Everyone kept stepping it up and stepping it up. Now you're selling out the Garden at these prices.
Yeah.
And it's just
Bill Burr did it twice, and I'm a big fan of Burr. And he's for me. Bill Burr is like the new Carlin. Everyone says no, Louis C.K. No, Bill Burr. He's the guy that tweaks you and goes, "Oh my God, where's he going with this?"
right.
Even though Louis C.K.'s bit about Parkland was, I thought it was pretty funny. People are so sensitive. You can't talk about it. Like Bill Burr was doing a bit about the military, made fun of the military, and some guy in the back, some fat guy came running up to him. You can't make fun of the military. He goes, why? We got to greet them now? I go, I know, we can't make fun of the military. We got to greet them when they come over at Delta. We got to stand up and say hi. But the bit was about, not everybody's a hero in the military. The guy flying the bomber and taking hits, from the ground, he's a hero.
Right.
But the guy that points on the ship for where he takes off to, it's kind of watered down, the definition of hero, from this guy to the guy actually flying the plane.
You're right, though. Everyone's got to sense. If Louis C.K. made those jokes about whatever happened 20 years ago, people would be lining up to see him.
Right.
But now, because he had a Me Too moment, he's Louis C.K.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time for him to be able to come back.
And the guy was a fan of Louis. You could tell he was. That's why he posted it. But he burned all that material. See, when you say burn the material, that means you can't use it again because it's already been heard by everybody because it was downloaded or uploaded or whatever. And poor Louis lost his entire new show because of this whole thing.
And again, I've heard mixed stories of what actually happened, but the first version I heard was that he invited women back to his hotel room, asked to masturbate.
Asked them.
They said
Asked
yes,
permission.
he
They
did
said
it,
yes.
and then like months later they were offended because they felt pressured.
Except for Sarah Silverman.
And from what I've heard from people like Sarah Silverman who've done interviews,
yeah.
people said Louis was very well known for that, and he was not pushy. He would ask you if you said no, he accepted it
He
and walked
backed
away.
off.
So,
And this was before he was Louis.
right.
I mean, this was-
he always was known for
He was
being,
just a headliner,
Right.
and this is what he liked to do back at the condo or hotel. So it wasn't like he had the power over you.
right.
So,
So I mean, if he did other stuff that I don't know about that was
no, it was pretty
sexual
much-
assault or whatever, then fine.
From
then he
what I
gets- he
heard, it was
deserves
just that.
But if it was just that, then I don't see it. But just like wow, I had the name before too, and it just escaped me. The guy who does the Talking Dead, the comedian that does the Talking Dead.
Oh.
V, I know, knows it. Put it out there for.
He had a problem?
Yeah, it was funny because an ex-girlfriend of his wrote something.
It's not Chris Hardwick, is it?
Chris Hardwick. An ex-girlfriend wrote something about an ex-boyfriend of hers that did all this bad stuff, and immediately, like, everyone got so worried. I don't know if he got fired or suspended, and then his current girlfriend, and I think even the ex was like, no, that's not him. That's not how he does it.
Oh, Jesus.
So people went nuts, and they're like, we're not going to watch The Walking Dead or The Talking Dead if you don't give this guy a show back. He didn't do anything.
Oh, my God.
So luckily it was like in an off part of the season.
Because she wasn't specific as to who he was talking about.
So now all it takes is an accusation from an ex, not even about you, to get you in trouble now. And that's it's just, it ruins
Chris Hardwick.
real issues because there are people who did really bad things, like Harvey Weinstein, and you know, that's proven.
What are you saying, Bobby Collins, Johnny Crosta? You're talking about Maniscalco, I guess. I guess that's the parallel he was drawing. He goes, I liked it the first time when he was called Bobby Collins. Who's still out there, by the way? Another veteran. These veterans are still out there being funny. Come on, somebody wake up.
I
Put a show
think
together.
you need a modern day Dangerfields.
Yeah. But for guys who've been doing it.
For both.
Yeah.
For new up-and-coming comics that are really funny and deserve to be there, but mainly headlined by the guys who belong there. And who
Like Gotham Comedy is the show to be on now locally to get some notoriety out of it. And but it's, there's not that one show that where you go, hey, I'm going to be on so-and-so, and the next step is this.
Right.
There's not that show anymore.
Because I see people, like, even within their first year, and you look, and they got Caroline's and Dangerfields and The Tonight Show and this, that, and the other, and they got all these
let's put it
credits.
this way. Back in the day.
And I'm not saying they're not funny, but, like, no, in your first year, I mean, I'm glad they do it. I'm glad there's promoters that put on shows because when I went to Dangerfields, it was iconic to be in a place like that.
Right.
Caroline's was great. These places, like, I remember watching people, when I was... The greats were there, and I was a fan of them, and like, wow, I'm on the same stage that they were. You know what I'm saying? But, and again, I was during amateur nights or whatever. It wasn't like I was a big headline show on 8 o'clock on a Friday night or 10 o'clock.
Right.
I'm not saying that. But there needs to be a place that's just like there needs to be a modern day Dangerfields, a modern day Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Well, the place that kind of
puts... like, hey, this is where the cream of the crop are.
I think... the place that's really putting people on the map is the Comedy Cellar. Like, that seems to be the place where it's such an underground thing, but guys like Ray Romano will show up, and Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. Like, that's, if anybody of that stature is going to go out and work out material, it's at the Comedy Cellar.
Right.
So they have that kind of cachet. But again, these are guys that already made it. So they're just working out stuff, and it's the toughest. The toughest thing is coming up with your next hour, and what people don't realize, it's Elvis Costello, one of my favorite musicians, said the best thing about music. He goes, "You have your entire life to write your first album. You have a year and a half to write your next one."
It's true.
And it's like, yeah, right. So once you put out a DVD or put out a special. Now they're going to come see you, and they're going to go, well, no, we already saw that. So why are we coming to pay money to see that again? So you got to keep working out stuff. And what the audience doesn't realize, when you're working out stuff, it's not all going to be top notch.
No, that's why you're working it out. That's the whole point.
You're working out the bumps and all that
You're probably
stuff.
doing 5 hours of material to cut down to that great hour for a special, right?
Right, exactly. You're working it all out. Like tonight, there's open mics in different places.
This is our pinup tonight, by the way.
John says, are there going to be pinups tonight because my pants are on my ankles and I still look foolish here at the Jiffy Lube?
You got to let me know when he's local.
John. All right. Well, at least you got the lube. No, the pinup isn't here, and I'm very disappointed. Teresa's sick, and so I called up Dennis. I'm like, I'm running late because I do animal rescue work during the day, and we had this thing going on, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, and you didn't sound panicked or anything. Okay, all right, you'll be here at 10 to, whatever. Not telling me, Try to get here as soon as you can because Teresa's not
You
coming.
know what? You got to roll with it.
I
If you
know.
weren't here on
I
time,
guess
I would have given them word when Paul gets mic him up and send him in. I just would have
Fucking John.
made something up and started going with it.
He's such a silly
And
guy.
that's what I like too, and that's why. And I know you and every pro comic that have come in here or that I've spoken to all say the same thing: get as much stage time as you can.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where or how or whatever. Because the more I do it, the
Yeah.
more comfortable I am,
Yep.
and the more willing. Like in the beginning, when I first started, someone goes, "Oh, you want to get up, do a few minutes?" I wasn't ready. I didn't have anything prepared.
Yeah.
Now it's like, "You want to get up?" Sure.
Yeah,
What are you
go.
talking about? I don't know.
Exactly. If
I'll
it,
make something up as I go, and you know.
it may happen at a family party. Paul, you want to do? Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do a few minutes. Whatever. I don't care. Give me the forum. I'm doing it. I am guilty of not writing a lot of new stuff lately. So
I've been bad too, and I
Yeah.
really need to.
I got to get new
go to
songs.
workshops
You know,
and
like
do it.
people, my song stuff is usually the same. So I gotta start writing in. And I came up with some really good ideas. Brown Eye Girl. He goes, "We know what the brown eye is." And I would say, "Hey, where did we go?" You know, you slipped in the wrong hole. You know, like,
Yeah.
and then Brown Eye Girl. Of course, it's always a dick joke. Why not? That's my show.
And there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, again, in today's people are offended by everything, but again, like they said, if you with Louis C.K. when people getting offended by what he said, if you were there, you don't really have the right to be offended because at this point you know who he is. It's not like you got surprised and go, "Oh my
Right.
God, an offensive comment."
Right.
You go to see Dice Clay and you're offended by his
Right.
nursery rhymes.
He's
you're
not
in the
going
wrong
to talk
place.
about puppies and
Yeah,
kitty
exactly.
cats.
Exactly.
He's going to be talking about these gay guys. You know, Sean said Reynolds rap called. They want their backdrop back.
I had to look up to see what he was talking about.
It does kind of look like that. Looks like either that or it looks like a Frozen scene. Like it looks like ice
Okay.
behind us. Speaking of which, we're going to get a little
I was just
inclement
gonna
weather.
say, yeah. You gotta love these weathermen with their turbocharged dual Dopplers, anywhere from nothing to a lot. Or
What do we got? What are they saying?
well, last
to
I
5
heard
inches?
around here, it's going to be 1 to 2 before it changes over to rain.
Okay. But we are getting rain. And it is going to be 40 degrees the next day. So
Yeah.
it's a nothing. It's a nothing.
But schools are closed already.
They're closed
Yes.
already?
I was watching TV before I came here, and I saw certain schools had already canceled all the classes tomorrow.
Right. Okay.
It's funny. One of my memories today was from a storm we had, and it was a bad storm.
Uh-huh.
But I think it happened on a Thursday.
Right.
The schools were still closed on Monday and Tuesday because
Hey,
they were
you
still
know,
cleaning up the snow. I mean,
they
this
got
is-
lazy.
We just we turned into a
Still
bunch of,
spreading salt, and they got little Morton's containers.
we got
this
all
the
this
right salt?
technology.
I know.
And we can't do anything for ourselves anymore, including opening a school after a snow day.
Okay, so Mrs. Rowe Brown Eye, yeah. And I figured the chorus would be, ow, 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 you slipped. That's it. Brown Eye Girl. There you go. I will be at the Cove Haven Resorts on Wednesday on Valentine's Day
I was going to ask you what you're doing for Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day Eve, I will be at the resorts in the Poconos. The day after, I'll be home with my honey, Robert, and we're going to just nuzzle amongst the fire. Now, my wife Cheryl, who we do the rescue work together, and unbelievable. She's an unbelievable woman. It's everybody before her. She's crazy. She's a very good woman, and John DeCroster will vouch for that. So you'll see that'll come up.
Jeff said it's up to 5 inches that we're getting now before it changes.
Right, 5 inches. Let me tell you something. All right, it's that old joke. He feels it coming already. He's like, no, don't go there.
And the it's about as accurate.
Yeah, it's about as white man accurate as you get.
You get anywhere from 0 to
Yeah,
12, probably
that's it.
more towards the 3 to 5.
That's what I say. When a woman says she was hurt by 12 inches of white stuff, that was snow when she was in a car accident.
Yes.
That's right. So anyway, yes. So this Wednesday, Cove Haven. This Friday, like I said, I'm going to be at Round 2 in Bohemia on Vets Highway, and we're doing an animal rescue benefit to raise money to pay for vet bills and whatnot. And like I said, it goes right toward. There's no red tape. It goes from me right to the bill. That's how easy it is.
And I will vouch for that.
And that's why Frank's been a saving grace. Dennis, I mean, the people, I know the people that are there for me. They also know when I post, it's not bullshit. So it's definitely something.
And if you follow him, you'll see when he's going around and
yeah, you know what? I might
stuff.
just have people start bringing dry cat food to gigs. You know, if you want like Toys for Tots,
Yeah.
start bringing food to the show. So if you got, hey, I grabbed a bag on the way over, I'll take it. You know, because that's the way it works. I told my wife, you're only getting 5 inches, but if you rub it the right way, you'll get 6. Anyone? All right. So, John, where are you going to be? So people, I mean, in your area can come see you. John does a lot of cruise ships. He's the only comic I know that does cruise ships and gets more fit.
Really?
Every comic that does cruise ships comes back like 40 to 60 pounds heavier because all you're doing
unlimited
is,
food.
Yeah,
and then you
it's
just sit in
eating
your room
all
and-
day long. You sit in your room. John, when they go to port, he's skateboarding. He's working out in the gym. He eats kale. He's disgusting.
I see Margot just tuned in. She is a friend of Frank and Sarah's.
Uh-huh.
She's a firefighter, model, actress, whatever.
Wow.
She's going to be on the show in March, so
Wow.
hi to you.
Hey, Margot.
She's Miss March in her calendar as
go.
well. So
The stairs and salad bar are always empty. There you go, John. That's why you
Spot
can do
on.
it. Very good. So anyway, and Sunday, like I said, I'm doing a benefit at the Bolton Center in Bayshore. It's a beautiful little theater, about 200-seater, and it's for a veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder who suffered from it. But he's doing a walk from Buffalo to Long Island. I don't know why he's doing it in March, which is friggin' nuts. Because
I don't even want to walk from my car to my
oh
front
my
door.
God! And he's doing it in the snow. Are you shitting me? But we're raising money for the documentary. It's to support veterans, homeless vets, and he's going to be
And
interviewing
honestly,
homeless vets on there.
a lot is not done for the homeless vets in
No.
this country. So someone, needs to step
I don't
up
want to
and
get
do it,
political,
so.
but we should be worrying about our own first.
Yeah.
Let's just put it
And
that
even,
way.
when they signed to that check with their life,
Yeah.
they were willing to give their life for this country. The country should not turn its back on them, regardless of politics or who it's going
Right.
to.
Right.
There should be no such thing as a homeless vet.
No, ever.
They should be in the hospital that they need to
Or a
be in.
vet that's not getting
or-
the right medical care.
You see these stories how they're deployed overseas and then they lose their house.
Yeah.
How? How is that even possible?
It shouldn't be. It should be taken care of. It should be
Yeah.
a given. All right. We waste a lot of money on dumb, researches. We're going to research how the moth prolificates in this degree weather. Why? Who cares? Take care of the vets. We got problems.
Yeah, what they just say, like processed sugar and all this stuff is unhealthy. They just did a study on that. We already knew that.
We knew that. We know
Take
that.
that money and put these people in homes or hospitals, wherever they belong. The healthcare system is horrible for them.
Yeah.
Ask a lot of people that died waiting to be seen by the VA.
So, yeah, Frank. I know, Frank. I agree, and I'm not going to say it.
My other show that I'm working on, we will be talking about stuff like that.
Okay, good.
I'm working on a second show.
Okay.
Which is going to be, because this is more of a entertainment show.
Sure.
Where we focus on our guests and everything. I'm going to do another show just talking about
Issues.
issues.
Yeah.
Not necessarily politics, but politics may come up. But it's just like today's issues, because there are a lot of them.
Because I don't care if you're right wing,
Like
left wing,
lava.
or buffalo wing. They're all messed
a
up.
lot of confusing things.
Yes.
Like, for example, an all-girl Boy Scout troop.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't understand. So I am going to join the Girl Scouts tomorrow
Right.
because I want free cookies.
And eat a brownie. That old joke. But I know I heard that. There's an all-girl Boy Scout troop.
Now, I understand that the Boy Scouts might do more fun activities than the Girl Scouts do, but why not just enhance
Apply
the Girl
them
Scouts?
to the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, have the Girl Scouts go out on camping trips and learn how to tie knots and stuff.
Why do they have to be with the boys?
I don't understand why. You know what? Everyone can be created equal, but there still are differences between things. Boys learn to need to be boys. Girls need to learn to be girls.
Right.
If you're an other and you want to learn to be an other, that's cool too. I don't care. But sometimes you want to be around, especially when you're growing up.
You want to be around like.
Especially growing up, you want to be around like people. And
Sure.
even as adults, sometimes the guys just want to hang out, the girls just
Sure.
want to hang out, guys night out, girls night out. I don't see what's wrong with that. Why does everyone need to interject themselves into something where they're
It
not
just gets
wanted
more and more
or
PC.
don't belong at that time?
Now there's something called gender fluid, where they wake up, they feel like a girl one day, a boy one day.
I think
They just
gender
say-
fluid is liquor, right?
I don't know. But just shoot your gender fluid and shut the fuck up. How about that? Have a great night. Okay, bye, Jeff.
We are running out of time, and I see you brought your guitar. Do you want to play anything?
I don't know.
You don't have to.
I know I brought it just in case.
All right. We can continue talking about whatever.
Let's see. Maybe one.
All right. I was going to say, besides your workshops, what's your suggestion for somebody who might want to start in comedy?
Attend open mics. Don't have to go up. Just go, and see what's out there.
Thanks, Jeff. Take care.
See what's going on. Oh, it's went out of tune. Hold on. Not good. Hold on.
He tuned it up before the show. I witnessed it.
Yeah, I got new strings, and it's worse. You try to do the right thing. Keep talking. I'll be with you.
So anyway, Paul is multi-talented. Not only is he a comedian, but he's also a musician.
Yeah. It's crazy how loud it is.
Who toured with Jim Brewer.
I toured with Brewer.
Play guitar
and we
for
worked with Metallica, AC/DC, did the roast of Dennis Leary. Are you shitting me? Here we go.
John wants you to play his favorite song.
What's that?
John said play my favorite song. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I'll leave that up to you.
I don't know which it. I don't know what it is. And hopefully it'll stop stretching.
Is it something by Airsick Productions, maybe?
Oh, wait. I don't know. Wow. I don't even remember half those songs. We did some awful music. We did the Rusty Trombone.
Yes, I remember that very well. I was a huge O&A
nuts.
fan. And if you were an O&A fan back in the day,
Huh?
if you were an O&A, I'm telling them, if they were an O&A fan back in the day, you've heard this guy before too.
Yeah, I used to do some song parodies for them.
Once a Year by the Bulls.
Paul McCartney was dating I don't know if he's still with her, the girl with the wooden leg.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw her leaning there. It's awful. I know it is. It's not right. John's favorite song. Oh, you want to do?
Frank's is by the Bulls.
Oh,
So.
I just tuned. He goes, that was it.
Oh, all right.
Asshole. By the Balls. This is the female national anthem. Yeah, this is too long. Now, let me do.
Yeah, because you only got a couple minutes, so.
Let me do. I saw a guy on a black Harley, and he had white leather tassels streaming from his handlebars. Remember streamers on a tricycle?
Yes.
He had them on his Harley. And I was thinking, what could be the song going through this guy's head as he rides down the road of life on his Harley with streamers? So I came up with this. Born to be fabulous. Get your motor running. Up by Hershey Highway. That's it. And the dick joke is born. I'm a genius, Dennis, because I left the word highway in there. I didn't even change it. I turned it into a dirt road.
Yes.
I turned it into a dirt road. That's right. What's the other? Oh, I had another quickie. I'm trying to remember what I've already done on your show. That's what kind of stinks.
Yeah, do it again anyway. Yeah, give us one more quick one, then promote yourself again. And
All right, we'll do. All right, this is Sting. If he was a father in India. Sting. If he was a father in India. Here we go. There's a little red dot on my son today. That's it. Same old dot. It was yesterday. A red dot on my son.
Let them know where they can find you and your stuff.
Okay. PaulBondComedy.com. My tour dates are down for now because somehow Google has taken my personal calendar and brought it into my tour date calendar.
So you know what the gynecologist appointment is and
it's
everything.
Crazy. Yeah, you get to see when I'm going to the gynecologist. PaulBondComedy.com. Also, watch for the Rock and Roll Comedy Tour with myself, Dennis Blair, and Gary Dolina. and three veterans of comedy come together with guitars and join comedic forces for the Rock and Roll Comedy Tour. Go to my Facebook page, and you'll see it there.
Definitely check him out. It's definitely worth it. One of the funniest guys around.
Thank you. And like I said, Friday, Bohemia. All this will be posted after the show. I'll re-up everything so they can see.
Okay. And donate to his charity. Thanks
Yes.
again, Frank, and everybody at the Irish Pub. Hopefully you're winning at darts tonight. Thanks for that donation.
Yes, thank you very
And
much.
check out Frank. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll find out from David if he's going to be on there before I push that. But yeah, buy Paul CDs too.
They go toward rescue.
And hit up for our sponsor, Kayla Logistics. Well, your business is our priority. Moving products you use every day across the country and around the world. Contact Frank Zambuto for all of your domestic and international logistic projects. We already know Frank has over 20 years experience. I'm just going to
Let's do
sum
like
this
a
up because we're out of
ventriloquist.
time.
Okay. I'm
Reach
drinking
him
water while you're talking. Go ahead.
at 347-536-3933. Frank at KaylaLogistics.com. If you have any questions about tariffs or anything like that, he has the answers. Call Frank right now. And we will see you next week.
Thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. See you on the road. Toodles.